Boasting the city of Cusco, the Sacred Valley, and Machu Picchu, Peru is one of the most popular destinations in South America. For over 15 years, it's been the most popular country G Adventures takes travelers to, and we've grown to be the largest tourism operator on the Inca Trail. Tourism is the third largest industry in Peru and the fastest growing. At G Adventures, we believe that a force that powerful should be a force for good.
So tourism was really growing. It was especially growing for us. We were exploding, but tourism in general in Peru was really growing. And the women came to us with an idea that would have us, looking at cultural preservation. We were having a cultural impact on these communities because the younger generation were moving into the city centers to work to serve our tourists, and they weren't carrying on their traditions. A lot of their storytelling, a lot of their Incan patterns are handed down from generations, and the younger generation was no longer weaving. So we came up with this idea together with the women here about starting the Women's Weaving Co-op.
Entonces no cae que causa nico nya mejoran nya mana nya antes causa hina nya chu skunan kanya kolka chegana ya chay kunya turismo man trabajo y ko bindi kunya por ejemplo mana wa papa no kat estudia chay atrancho rik mana kolka inkarancho nya kunan kan no ka wa estudia chay nya ma y comunidad nips igual la ta kunan ya power met no kai kulan kai chega.
This whole project is empowering the women of the community because it was a business partnership with them. But it's different from a regular business because a social enterprise, you make social and environmental well-being just as much of a priority as financial well-being. So through that, it's grown significantly over the last 12, 15 years where they're doing other programs. Originally when we came here, it was just weaving. I remember the big transition when they started making their own wool. Actually, 2 of these llamas are named after my daughters, so somewhere in there. I've got pictures of them actually, but over time, it's brought the community together, and now they have their own ideas of how they want to expand tourism. Lots of people, do Machu Picchu or the Inca Trail, but none of them had a women's weaving co-op as an experience on the way, and it was a success from the very start. As an entrepreneurial company, and where we've been successful is finding where poverty and tourism intersect. When those two things intersect, it's a perfect breeding ground for us. And any project we put in those areas with the volume that we have, they're immediately successful. Well, I guess at the heart of it, Parwa is a restaurant. But it's obviously much more than that. It's a training kitchen. It also provides jobs and a steady income for many of the members of this community who used to have to travel long distances to find employment. Beyond that, it's also a cultural exchange point for the community here who wants tourists to experience their culture.
Para nosotros es bueno mantener nuestra cultura y divulgar a los turistas.
We've been bringing people here for years, but this was a much bigger project. We engaged the IDB, the Inter-American Development Bank, which a government agency had never worked with a for-profit company before. It took us 2 years to convince them to work with us and to prove that we were much more than just a regular company, that we were a social enterprise. And that was kind of a defining moment for us, I think. Even though we were heavily criticized when we first came into the idea that we shouldn't be doing nonprofit work or community development, my argument has always been, well, why not? We can do it better than anyone. At Parque de la Papa here, it's an example of our ripple effect businesses. These are businesses that we're using for some of our tours now. They started out of our relationship with the Women's Weaving Co-op. When social enterprise is established, it begins to have a positive effect on the community and everywhere in the surrounding area. Other small businesses spring up all over the place and support the larger business. It spreads prosperity in all directions.
Kay turismo ang kay langkas kay nokata cambiawa siyang kunang ekonomikamente kahlata kay ko grupo artesanía, gastronomía, plantas medicinales entonces nya ki peho generari konya kolke.
So now all of the communities are starting to collaborate on a small micro-organization like Sipas Warme, which is a tea organization that supplies tea to our Parwa restaurant. I was able to use the facility here.
Ki planta kuna mantaña turay no kay ko kurwashay ko nya kunanga filtrante pi I mats filtrante si ti kuna tanya rwashay ko no kay ko.
It's been 12 years of developing and working, and now there's some micro organizations that have kind of sprouted up to serve some of the bigger projects that we have. You see people coming through on their way to Machu Picchu, and this sacred valley is significant culturally to everybody because they want to either buy some of the textiles, eat some of the food, take part in some of the cultural preservation that's going on here.
Peru has been considered basically for the last 5 consecutive years the #1 gastronomy destination in the world. So I created Best by Peru, a company which basically tried to teach through gastronomy about its people in Peru, about the culture that we have in here.
So Ruben is a great example of how creating an opportunity for someone can be a win-win situation for not only him, but especially for us as a company. So that's why we created the G Values Fund, to provide startup funding for those great ideas.
The G Values Fund is this opportunity which G Adventures give for CEOs that have been running trips, like in my case, like 8 years or something. They want to create a business which by the end will fit perfectly in the change of supplies that G Adventures has it. Who knows more than a CEO? Who knows more of what this client wants to do?
I put it at like probably a third part.
That's really hot.
We like hot in Peru.
That's a really hot pepper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just do a little. How spicy did you go out of 10?
It's 11. You know, Ruben's been a great soldier for us for many years. He's been trained and brought up really in our brand, and he lives our values. So to be able to give him a livelihood and a business, but still within the family of the company, is great for both of us. It's great when we can take our own people and create opportunities for them to not only extend their time with us, but also give them a livelihood for the rest of their lives and for future generations.
I actually started at G Adventures working as an assistant guide. Now I'm the Inca Waters manager.
But what G Adventures gives me is an opportunity to keep growing as a person, as a professional.
I'm the operations manager here at Sungate in Cusco. I started as a CEO and then I continue growing.
G Adventures has given me the chance of traveling, and you know, traveling is probably one of the most beautiful things in the world, right?
Make me a better professional, a better person, and a happier person, to be honest.
There are a lot of children in very risk situation because they come from the countryside of the department of Cusco and they come to the city and it's very difficult. And so we decided to open a place where they can come to do their homeworks, to use their free time learning different things. No? After 4 or 5 years, we met Bruce. He asked us, what do you need?
Stepping into charity work can be a bit tricky sometimes because where we excel is social enterprise. But sometimes an opportunity comes up organically where we're able to give back. And here at the House of the People of the Sun, we were able to do that.
We need a place, a house, because we were working in 1 room or 2 rooms. They buy the house and we are here about 9 years. The House of the People of the Sun is working for the defense of the right of the children.
When we first met with the community, I guess from the outside, people would say it was, it was an act of charity almost, like a one-way relationship. Now that they're kind of making more money, expanding their projects, they've actually come to us to thank us and want to get involved with Planeterra and donate money from this project to Planeterra so we can invest in other community projects around the world. When tourism intersects with extreme poverty and people are buying expensive holidays to be in those regions, it's a social issue, but it's also a tourism issue. When it comes to tourism, nobody does it better. Nobody does it better than us. We'll continue to keep doing that work and, proving our model that tourism could be the greatest form of wealth distribution that the world has ever seen, and that your form of giving back could be going on holidays. Imagine if we could come to a world where that happened.